Hey, my name is Reb. I make music as Summer Starved, record producer, songwriter, joyful noise chaser. This is a quick video. In this video, we're just going to talk a little bit about consolidating tracks in order to be sent out to be mixed or remixed. It's mostly for reference for anybody that I'm working with, specifically in Ableton. But if you've stumbled upon this, we'll just get right to it. So I have this little track here. Okay, I got a few different things. I got a little instrument here. Got a little drum break. Here's some percussive elements. Tambourine high, tambourine low. And then a drum rack that's gonna come in right here. Cool, so I basically have the entire kind of this basic track laid out. And what I want to do is get it to a place where I can send it out to be remixed or mixed by someone else. And in that case, I want everything to kind of be exactly how I played it. So if I were to export these individual files as they are, you see here's some space. Okay, so I don't want any space there because when the file pops up, it's just going to be a bounce of this audio here. So basically what you need to do is grab it to the extent of where you want the song. At this point, the song ends right here at 25. You're just going to go right click, and then there is a option to consolidate. So when you consolidate, what it's going to do is basically just fill out all this blank space. And then the tambourine will be coming in precisely where you wanted it to do. Same thing here with these three tracks. I'm just going to consolidate these so that it knows when that audio goes out, the mix engineer won't have to be jumping around to try to figure out when and where this comes in. We're just going to know it comes in here. So you basically have made a bunch of different choices as you're producing your own track. So you don't want to have the mix engineer guessing where you put stuff into. He's going to know, okay, it comes in right here. Because you're kind of building up the layout, the different parts of the track. So basically you just want to consolidate any audio to the exact place where they come in and out. The other thing you want to do with any MIDI instruments is you just want to right click on them, freeze them. It's going to take a minute to take the arrangement and freeze it. And then you want to flatten it. And that way you will have the audio that you played in completely. You're going to flatten it here. So that audio is going to be exactly how you played it. Good, bad, and ugly. Okay. You want to take it again and just go to exactly where, let's say this is the end of the track, measure 25. And I want to consolidate all of these, which is Command J. So the idea is that all of the tracks are going to be exactly the same length. So your mix engineer won't be thinking too much about where you as the artist were trying to place your instrumentation. If you're working with a drum rack, what you're going to do is just zoom out like so, give you a little bit more real estate. And then you're going to do the same kind of thing, consolidate it. Right click and consolidate, or you can have just, Command J, which is the quick key. And what it does is just have this length of blank until it comes in here. Okay. The thing with the drum rack is that, let's say I want to take this drum rack. Mix engineers are going to want to have each one of the tracks kind of isolated so they can mix it the way they want. Okay, so get a trusted engineer you care about, and then let them, trust them to mix it the way that you want it. So again, what you would do in a drum rack, so to speak, is you see all the different instruments that are being played. Okay, so this kick drum, I'm going to grab that and I'm going to extract the chain. And what that's going to do is take it out of the drum rack and make just this its own drum rack out here. Because if you were to freeze the drum rack as a whole, it would just give you a stereo signal of the drums you played. But what you want to do is isolate each track. So what else we have? Maraca, I'm going to extract that chain. Got this cymbal, I'm going to extract that chain, and then it should just be the clap. Okay, extract that chain, and then what I would do is just delete the rest of this because we're not actually using it for anything. So I'll just go ahead, Command, and then delete that, or right click and delete. So what you ended up doing here, if I just group these for a second and solo them, this is going to be your individual tracks. Cool, so these are the individual tracks, so you're going to want to go in and just kind of rename them. So that kick, this right here is going to be maraca, this would be cymbal, and this would be clap. Okay, so you have those there, and what you're going to want to do at this point is grab those, flatten them, and freeze them and flatten them so that you're just going to be sending the audio so that your mix engineer can have the audio. Okay, I've froze and flattened them, and if I look down here, what it should now have, instead of MIDI, it's actually going to have the audio available for the mix engineer to process. Okay, so then now all of this audio is at this point, all MIDI has been consolidated into audio, and now audio in all of the different tracks are the same length. Okay, so what you'll want to do at this point is just grab them, shift click, so that all of the different, first of all, you'll just want to ungroup them so that they're all individual tracks. So I have a few groups here, so I'm just going to ungroup them all, make sure they're all labeled. This will be Rhodes, tam high, tam low. Let's just call this break middle, break right, break left. So basically you don't want the mix engineer to have to be guessing at all. Make sure all the panning's up the center, because again, we want to make sure that it's just kind of as it is. It would take off any kind of automation you did with effects and that kind of stuff, and then just make sure kind of everything is as it is. Got it all there, and then you're just going to hit File and Export Audio Video. Here you're going to say Render Tracks, All Individual Tracks. Okay, you could choose any ones you wanted to send out like that, but if you do all individual tracks, what will then happen is that they will be all exported into their individual tracks so that a mix engineer can pull it up and go from there. Okay, so now I'm let's say I'm the mix engineer and I have received the Dropbox folder that you've sent me. Jump on this, I'm going to grab these. What you'll see here is the name of the track and then the actual different parts that we have. But what we have here is the break left, so you'll hear it, break middle. I'm going to grab all these tracks that we just consolidated, and I'm going to bring them over here. You drag them in. If you hit Command, they'll actually all drag in like this underneath each other. If you let it go, they're just going to drag in as individual tracks, and then you'll have to move them to fit. But I'm going to Command Z that, bring this in, hit Command, they're all going to drop in. Tam high, tam low, and then this last one actually is the mix that you made yourself as a reference mix. So if I take that off, it should, now I have the individual tracks that I can now use to mix as I want. Okay, hopefully that's helpful. Let me know if you have questions.